Hi everyone, Paula Harvey from Tejon Ranch Conservancy. We're going to do this lesson 6 in our practice series of drawing techniques. Let's get started. So here's exercise 6. Remember, each of these exercises is just a warm-up or a drill. It's not something that's going to be gorgeous and beautiful. It's simply practice paper. So you're not necessarily using your journal for this. It could be any kind of paper you want to practice these things. The more you do them, the better you get at it. Now we're going to talk about negative shapes. Very, very important in drawing. A negative shape is the shape that occurs between objects that we're drawing. So in approaching your subject, let's say it was a skull, you would probably focus on the shape of the upper and the lower jaw and the contour of the back of its head. But the negative shapes that are in there are really important as well. Those are those empty spaces between the jaws or the eye holes, for example. Now those empty spaces, those give you a sense of its proportion. A jaw has height and width, it has angles, and as does negative spaces. And that's important to draw as well. Drawing accurate negative shapes helps you in making your object look correct. If you draw a negative shape as an actual shape, you may discover that you drew the jaws too close together or too far apart or too long. And those things can get corrected right now at the very beginning of the drawing rather than later when it's too late. So take a look at this drawing here. I'm not sure which is the negative space. If you think of negative shapes being the dark part, then the cat is the negative shape. But it might be the outline of those hands that is actually the negative shape. Whatever it is, those two are so integrated into each other that that drawing would have no value whatsoever if it didn't have positive space and negative space. And that's something to keep in mind when you're drawing, that both the things you can see and the spaces between are equally important. If your negative space doesn't fit, don't ignore it and move on. You're going to find that the negative space is really a valuable indication that something is off in the proportions that you drew. Find out, figure out what went wrong and fix those before you continue to draw, before you've put so much effort into it that you can't fix it. Using negative space is one of those most important, valuable tools in your toolkit of drawing techniques. So in your exercise, take that same thing that you've been practicing with doing contour drawing and draw it again using the same kinds of contours, but again, not only do the contours, but do those negative spaces as well. So looking at this skull, look how really prominent these dark spaces are. Those were the negative shapes that were drawn in at the same time that the contour was made. Include those negative shapes in the next drawing and the next contour drawing that you do of the object you were studying. And that's it for negative space. And we'll see you for the 7th and final drawing exercise. Bye for now.